So let us now move to volume. So what is volume? Volume refers to the amount of space the object takes up. In other words, volume is a measure of the size of an object. Just like height and width are ways to describe size. If the object is hollow, in other words empty, volume is the amount of water it can hold. Volume is the amount of space occupied by a three-dimensional object. Interior volume refers to the amount of space confined within the boundaries of a container such as a box. Concept development activities for volume include building solids with cubes and filling boxes with cubes. Volume, perception and comparison. Perception is awareness, comprehension, or an understanding of something. An example of perception is knowing when to try a different technique with a student to increase their learning, organization, identification, and interpretation of sensory information, conscious understanding of something. Comparison. In math, to compare means to examine the differences between numbers, quantities, or values to decide if it is greater than, smaller than, or equal to another quantity. To introduce the concept of cubic volume, the teacher might hold up two solid rectangular prisms and ask what is bigger. While linear dimensions and surface areas of these three-dimensional objects could be compared, the discussion should lead to the question of which one occupies more space. Two empty boxes, one of which fits within the other, are then shown and compared for volume. Teacher and students can generate a list of everyday examples of objects that have a large volume or a small volume. But in most cases, direct comparison cannot be carried out, and beginning instructional activities involve the use of non-standard units. To determine whether a child conserves volume, the teacher can use wooden cubes to build a solid shape such as a 2 by 3 by 2 prism. The teacher will then explain that he or she is making a house with blocks and that each block is a room. He or she instructs the child to copy the teacher's house and to confirm that the two structures have the same number of rooms. The teacher then rearranges the 12 blocks to form a prism with different dimensions, such as 6 by 2 by 1. The teacher then asks the learners if this house has more, fewer, or the same number of rooms, just as the child's house. The child is asked to justify his or her explanations after.